Hello, everyone. My name is Stanley St. Bros, and today we're going to be talking about Araby by James Joyce. Now, before I go into summary analysis of this work, please remember to leave a like, subscribe, and or comment so that the channel can continue to grow. All right, Araby. Very interesting short story here. There's a lot that is going on. A lot. It's really sad. The narrator of the short story, he's in love, all right? He has Megan is a friend of his. He is in love with Megan's sister. And it's like when you're a young man, a boy that's growing up in this world, there comes a time in your adolescence, there's that first girl that you like. It's quite special when, let's say, I don't know, between the age of 7 and 10, when you're a young boy growing up, you've gotten out of, you're not a toddler anymore, you're not, um, whenever, like, boys or, I guess between the age of, like, maybe 7 to 10, um, that first girl that you like, oh, that's a pretty girl, or that first girl that you come across, you're like, oh, I like her. It's very special, right? It's very special. So the narrator is young, not even, not, barely a teenager. But he's in those years, not adolescence. He's not, 7 years old, but adolescent years, teenage, preteen type of that region of life where you're growing up, you're starting to develop feelings, and you start to have these romantic feelings, from playing on the street with your other guy friends to developing that first crush. It's quite uh, interesting. I mean, for most kids, probably in like fifth grade or maybe in middle school, you find that first person that you like, and that first person that you like, it's quite special. It's quite special. I mean, it can be hurtful because you're trying to figure relationships out, and it's a long journey because once you get into that arena of romantic pursuits, it lasts until you die or you give up. it's a it's a it's a journey that starts, adolescent, preteen, teenage years, your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, or I mean, a lot of people give up in their 70s, but a lot of people don't. So some people go on until they die. But romantic pursuits, it has several different layers like an onion. There's boyfriends and girlfriends, there's relationships, there's engagements, fiancés, marriage, and then everything that comes with a marriage, from how to navigate a marriage. I mean, the relationship between men and women, it's quite complex. But one of the most special things is the first time you like someone. It's quite special, and the narrator here within Araby, this is like the girl that he's obsessed over. In one's lifetime, there's gonna be lots of people that you have a crush on. Sometimes you just see someone that just looks pretty, or someone that just you're like wow, and then like you just pursue them. So crushes, they come and go. But the first time you like someone, it's always quite special. And I've said that enough. But it's an interesting story because I think it's relatable because everybody has gone through this at some point when you're growing up. So this story is kind of like a coming of age story, because the young man here, again, he has a friend by the name of Megan, and this friend of his sister. He's like, I like her, and he's watching her. He lives across the street from her. He watches her. He's paying attention to her, her schedule, when she leaves her house, when she's in her house, when she's going to school, when she's walking in the street. He creates this whole reality within his mind about being this girl's hero and being in her life, and looking at her and those glances, and in his mind he has this created this whole world around this woman of ways that he could be with her, and win her affections. And it's quite, it's it's like, man, this dude is just, he cannot live without this woman. It's even affecting his schoolwork. It's affecting his life. All he thinks about is this girl night and day, looking at her house. Completely, and he's enamored with this girl to the point where when the girl finally, it's not him that finally talks to the girl, it's the girl that finally talks to him, and she's like, "Are you going to the bazaar?" And the bazaar's name is Araby, so Araby's bazaar. So so the bazaar, it's pretty much this like marketplace where different vendors have different things. I mean, you can find all types of things at bazaars, vases, I don't know, lamps, whatever they're selling. Some merchants just set up their booths or tables, and you can just go buy some knickknacks and stuff like that. So you can find some nice stuff for your house, or some nice stuff to decorate your house, or just some material goods that you might, different people might like, things like that. People sell all types of things at bazaars. So the girl was thinking about going to a bazaar, but she can't really go. So the narrator's like, "Oh, I'll go for you, or I'll go." And he has this master plan that he's gonna go to the bazaar and buy her this nice thing and bring it back to her and win her affection. So he pretty much creates this whole hero like scene where he pretty much does something so nice for this girl that he wins her heart. And truthfully, this is how guys think. As a member of the men group, I have to say, men, we do think like this. We do think like, if we go above and beyond, if we do something nice, if we, I don't know, open doors, maybe there's a chance out there. Maybe, just maybe. Who knows? No, it's quite funny, but all guys do think like this. Be charming, be the Prince Charming, be the hero, and once you're the hero, maybe you'll win the girl, or you'll impress the girl to the point where maybe she won't, I guess, skip over you or whatever. So the narrator, he's thinking like this. He's like, man, I'm gonna do something to impress this girl. And men, this is something that exists in reality. Men in our society, in most societies, men do this all the time, but we do it in different ways. This is why a lot of men work extremely hard to become rich, to have houses and cars and buy fancy clothes and develop good speaking skills and be charming, so that in some ways to be appealing to the opposite sex. You do all these things. You trim, you cut your beard, you prep, prop yourself up, you look your best, you educate yourself, you make money, you do all these things so that you look good in society and you look good to the opposite sex, so that once you do find a girl that you like, maybe there's a chance that she'll like you too, and marriage and matrimony and all that. So a lot of guys do. Every guy does this. You prop yourself up to the best of your ability, so that I guess procreation and passing on of genes and marriage and love and romance and kumbaya and all that kind of stuff. But we kind of see this in the miniature level here with this narrator. He's a young boy. He's growing up, and he's like, the best way I can impress this girl is by going to the bazaar for her, is by buying her something nice. He tells, his uncle this, and his uncle forgets. Like, his uncle goes out drinking and comes back at 9. His aunt is now, his family doesn't help him, basically. And his uncle gets home late. He gets some money from him. He takes the train. He goes to the bazaar. And he can't buy anything. He gets to a vendor. The vendor's like flirting with some British gentleman. And the vendor's like, "Are you going to buy anything?" He's like, "No, I'm not going to buy anything." He basically doesn't have any money to buy anything in the bazaar. Since his uncle came home so late, um, he got there late, and so he can't buy anything, and he doesn't have the money to buy anything, and so he pretty much, the story ends very sadly. He's in despair because now he can't be that hero. He can't buy her anything, and this was going to be his big scene, it was going to be his big introduction, presenting the girl with something beautiful, man, something nice, something that she could remember him by, but he couldn't buy anything, and everything went so wrong. The uncle coming home late, and things not going well, and it's just so sad. And it's times like this when you're a guy and you realize you can't be the hero of the story, and you can't rescue the princess, and you can't win the hand of the princess, when you just spiral into sadness and despair, and you can't win the heart of your love, and it's rough. But this is something that all men go through. At some point, there is that girl that's gonna get away, and you're gonna have to sit in that pain for a while, and then pick yourself up and dust yourself off, and keep moving forward. And that's life. That is life. But in terms of deeper meaning and analysis, this is very real. Again, this will, for a lot of men, this will make a lot of sense, because sometimes you find yourself in these situations where you like someone and you do your best to try to get them, and sometimes they're like, nah, I'm not interested, or just no matter what you do, it's just not enough, or you're just not the one, or you're just, you're not it. And you're just gonna have to process that pain, go through it, and again, dust yourself off, pick yourself up, and keep moving forward with life. And for both men and women, we all go through heartbreak, and it's tough when you find someone that you like romantically. There's that period of intense passion, dopamine is running in your head, and you feel like Superman, and you want to do it all, and you want to be the next James Bond, and you want to be the hero, and then something happens wrong, and your heart gets broken, and you feel down in the barrel, at the bottom of the barrel, and it's all just gloomy, and it's a roller coaster, man. Emotions can be a roller coaster, especially romantic emotions. Those can be very tough emotions. And the narrator in this story does get a taste of adulthood, a taste of life, because throughout life, again, you meet people, you go on dates. Some relationships work, some don't. Some people get married and get divorced. That's a reality of life. Some people find these intense emotions. Maybe you meet the girl, she likes you, you like her, you get, you date, you go through the procedures, boyfriend, girlfriend, engagement, fiance, marriage, children, and then it all comes crashing down with a divorce. And some people go 1, 2, 3 divorces in the world today. So love and heartbreak is something that does exist, and a lot of people have to go through it, and some people, they never get it right, and some people do. Some people have those 50-year football number marriages, some people have been married over 40, 50, 60, 70 years, and then some people be like, I was married for 2 years, and it was just brutal. It was just so brutal, man. So who knows, man? The world is, especially romantic relationships, there's no rule book. It's just kind of have to figure it out, and for everybody, for every couple, it's different, and it's the human condition. But that's pretty much what happens in Araby. You do get that taste of reality, and also the naivete of youth, and also growing up, and also sometimes the outside world can care less about what you're feeling and what you're trying to achieve. But you have to keep moving forward. Yeah. So that's my summary analysis of this work. Please remember to leave a like, subscribe, and or comment. And I'll see you guys in the next video.